A lot has happened in 50 years. It started in 1975. A university born of steel and made from its people. A global institution built on discovery and unique stories from the labs to the library to the lawn. For 50 years, we've shaped minds and memories, forged friendships and turned aspirations into outcomes. As we reflect on the success of our past, we look forward to our future. A future where we continue to grow, invent, create and solve. A future where we tackle new challenges and triumphs fueled by creativity and a commitment to a better world. We look forward to new connections, inventions and industries, and to championing the next generation of artists, explorers, entrepreneurs and problem solvers. Here's to the next 50 years of impact, inspiration and innovation.
muk muk morak wembu morak nakitang yunga morak 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 muk muk morak wembu morak nakitang yunga Hey, hey, Bonya da combare bopujane bopujan. 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 Hey, hey, I'd like to welcome Arnie, Dr. Joyce Donovan to the stage for the Welcome to Country.
Thank you very much for allowing me to have this opportunity. First of all, to congratulate all the graduates today on the success. All the exams are over. And also to congratulate all the families that travel every step of the way with you. All the friends that support you. I'd like to also say that, when somebody goes to uni, gets a degree, in a lot of cases, nobody from that family's ever been before. People that, travel a long way, maybe the first person in that family. For me, none of my mother's people ever went to TAFE, never finished high school. So a lot of you people here today will become role models to encourage other people within your family, within your countries, people that know you. You've set a high standard, and congratulations again, and I wish you every success on your future. I would also like to acknowledge and pay my respects to my elders, whose land we stand on here today, the Wadi and the Dharawal people. I was born in La Perouse in 1946, and my mother was born there in 1904. Her mother was born at a women's birthing place in the Illawarra, at the top of the Illawarra. So from La Perouse, all up the Georges River, all down Bulli, all up the Illawarra, right down to Kiama, where my grandfather's people are from, the Malones, who translated all the Wadi language to Ripley, the historian. I'd also like to acknowledge my fellow alumni who are all here and pay them respect for looking after not only me as an honours graduate I'm almost 80 and it was nearly 2 years ago, so never stop learning, it goes on. And for also welcoming everyone else to this university, making this a place to come learn and to hear. When I'm a great believer that education gives you a voice as well as a strong spirit, I've been told since I've done a few degrees. So, it learns you. You want to go more. It learns you to have good skills to work to provide for your families. My name is Joyce Donovan. As I said, my mother is an Aboriginal. My father was Irish. We tend to blame the Irish people for everything. I come from a very, very good place, La Perouse, and a very, very good nurture and family. I am the great-granddaughter of Agnes Gilbert, whose father was George Granbury Gilbert. He was the leader of the Cobrigal people, and he's written in the history books as fighting alongside the great Coggy and the great Permalway, who was the Rainbow Warrior. So I'm very, very proud of all my ancestry. My people are the Dharawal, Wadi Wadi, and the Darrak people. We are saltwater people, from La Perouse to the Shoalhaven River, to this side of the Nowra Bridge, and up at the Georges River is all my people's traditional area. And where we all gather here today is all on the Wadi Wadi land. We have over 260 different languages in our areas. Our people were forbidden to speak our language, forbidden to do their ceremonies. But our people done this through the songlines, through the singing, as you just heard some of the young men do, through dancing. And I'd like to speak a little bit in my people's language. Waramaya kamang nagara, yaga dilima bilima, maliga, mob naragara, barbara tangara, tira ne. I'm glad to speak with you today to share our spirit of the land, handed down through song lines, dance and movement. As the oldest living peoples and culture in the world, I pay my respects to our ancestral elders, for their spirits still walk this land. As we walk in their footsteps, where they once gathered seafood, bush medicines, tools, making materials, spears, canoes and shells of bark, as they camped, hunted, and continued to perform ceremony and rituals and law. As we gather here together, may we all celebrate in the presence of Tangara Tirara dance, Mangari Mob Reari song, Baibara sang, speaking. May we all remember and be reminded of our rich, continuous Aboriginal cultural heritage and spirit of the dreaming. Yesterday, today and tomorrow. On behalf of the Dharawal Wadi Wadi Darrak people, I'd like to give a really special welcome on your special day here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Auntie Joyce. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Kelly Ridges, and I'm the Director of Student Administration Services at the University of Wollongong, and I'm delighted to be your Master of Ceremonies today. I would like to begin by acknowledging our Indigenous Strategy Unit and our local Aboriginal community. Their leadership brings to life a vision for an inclusive, reconciled, and united Australia. Through this graduation ceremony, we recognise that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people are the knowledge holders of country. Today's celebration is grounded in the spirit of cultural healing, with the powerful artwork by Auntie Lorraine Brown and Auntie Narelle Thomas from the Kumadichi United Aboriginal Corporation, which you will see woven through today's event. It is a reminder of connection, culture and community. Thank you for joining us here today on this special occasion. Please ensure your phones are on silent. To our graduates, congratulations on your big day. Graduation is a proud and emotional milestone for you and for us as an institution. Thank you for being part of UOW's story and now its legacy. You've shown resilience and resolve through extraordinary times, and you now step into a world you're already helping to shape. Today, we also honour your families, friends and supporters. Your success is theirs too. This year, It's a particularly poignant celebration as we mark the 50th anniversary of this university. Anniversaries invite reflection, but they also ask a question: what will come next? And that's where you and your talents come in. The future is yours to define. I'd like to congratulate you again. Let's hear it for our graduates. Now, if you are able to, please stand for an instrumental version of the Australian National Anthem. I would now like to introduce the Vice-Chancellor and President, Professor Max Liu, one of the university's highest officials, to give the congratulatory address.
Distinguished guests, families, friends and colleagues, and most importantly, our graduates, good afternoon. As Vice-Chancellor and President of the University of Wollongong, it gives me immense pleasure and a touch of nostalgia to welcome you to this momentous occasion. Let me begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land on which we gather today and pay my deepest respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging. I also like to extend my respect to all First Nations people here with us today. Graduation is one of the proudest and most transformative milestones in university life, not only for you, our graduates, but also for your families, friends, and those who helped you along the way. Behind every graduate is a support crew, surviving the wild assignment deadlines, maybe too much coffee, and the chaos of group projects where one person mysteriously disappears. Today marks the end of one chapter and an exciting and somewhat unpredictable beginning of another. And you've done something truly remarkable. Some of you are the first in your family to earn a degree. Some have journeyed across oceans and cultures to be here. All of you have made it with your dedication and resilience through uncertainty. You have grown intellectually, professionally, and personally, and we are very proud, every single of you. As someone who grew up in a remote village in China where electricity arrived later than I did, I never dreamed that education would one day take me around the world into laboratories, lecture theatres, and leadership roles. Education didn't just open doors for me, it gave me the courage to walk through them. And today, you too stand on the threshold of your own journey, one shaped not just by your degree, but by your character. You graduated in a landmark year, our 50th anniversary, half of a century of impact, And today isn't about the institution. It is about you. And let me reassure you, just because you are leaving doesn't mean that you are off our mailing list. You're now a part of a global UOW alumni family, more than 140,000 strong, spanning over 200 countries. That's a serious LinkedIn network. Graduates of the Faculty of Engineering and Information Sciences, you are entering the fields underpinning our future, be it energy, AI, infrastructure, or cyber. But the question I leave with you is not just what you will do with them, but why. My advice? Stay curious. Ask the big questions even when they don't come with easy answers. And be kind to others and to yourself. And be brave, because leadership, integrity, and innovation require courage. And most importantly, use your knowledge to uplift others, not just to advance yourselves. One of my favorite quotes is from Albert Einstein. Strive not to be a success, but rather to be of value. If you hold on to that principle, you will build not only a successful career, but also a meaningful life. So graduates, my warmest congratulations. You earned this moment and celebrate it and enjoy it. And I hope you will carry with you the friendship, the insights, the values you have found here at the University of Wollongong, as they will serve you for far beyond this day. Wherever your journey takes you, remember, you will always be part of the UOW family. And like any good family, we'll be watching with pride, no pressure. Thank you and best wishes for the path ahead. Congratulations.
Thank you, Vice-Chancellor and President. It is now my great pleasure to commence the presentation of the graduates. Now I would like to introduce the Executive Dean, Senior Professor Gusel Aluchu, to present the graduates to the Vice-Chancellor and President for the Faculty of Engineering and Information Sciences.
Thank you, Dr. Regis. It's my great pleasure to be here celebrating with our graduates today. We are very proud of what you have all achieved, and I wish to convey my personal congratulations to all the graduates. Will the graduates who are to be presented with undergraduate and postgraduate awards from the wonderful Faculty of Engineering and Information Sciences please stand if you are able to. Vice-Chancellor and President, I present to you the graduates to receive awards from the Faculty of Engineering and Information Sciences.
In the name of the Council and by my authority as Vice-Chancellor and President, I confirm your admission to the degrees you have qualified. Congratulations.
Before I ask graduates to sit, I would like to make 2 points. The first point is, can I ask all the graduates to turn to their families and friends, they are here today, to support you and what they have done for you to achieve this important milestone for your graduation. Please turn to your families. Let's give them a big round of applause to thank them. My second point is for the supporters, for the families. If you like to encourage supporters to stand and clap as your graduate is called. And lastly, please remain in the ceremony until we conclude. So with these notes, please, graduates, be seated.
Saiful Alam Chowdhury. Abbas Firoz Gandhi. Michael Halim. Nevin Yan Yang Ng. Wang Min Nguyen. Jose Paul. Annette Josephine Samantha Octaviani Sinaga. Nathan Suryadi. James Paul Bovista. Lillian Yolette Marie Noyo. Om Kiran Acharya. Lachlan George Angelis. Byron Banzaf. Kuldeep Bhatia. Jack Ryan Burton Woods. Braden Quadra. Rahul Dharamdasani. Phung An Nguyen Du. Zachary Elena. John Gregor Finlayson. Alexander Gianetta. Patricia Cagatin Guevara. Riley David Harper. Matthew John Healy. Zaire Chtut. Jared Juanco. Joel Joseph Kaipuli Kuri Joseph. Ege Kalin Chaslan. Su Yin Lam. Oliver Lambert. Roxy Charis Abastillas Libor. Jing Jing Yo. Victor Lau. Aidan Lozel. Christian Anthony Lustry. Ashton Morris. Adrian Paul O'Rourke. Vamshika Peddy. Alwyn Basil Shah. Sanya Shirodka. Tenku Hazik Tan. Nicholas John Toole. Soham Verma. Connor James Wheatley. Rhiannon Mary Williams. Zach Winters. Ashutosh Yadav. Terence Ewan. Anish Basu. Owen Anthony Cope. Darcy Grace Cullen. Samuel Fitzpatrick Fuller. Dhruv Gupta. Noah Haramina. Raymond King. Nicholas Simon John McDessie. Ethan Rayner Milley. Amanda Moss. Jay Chin Gina Neo. Tan Lam Nguyen. Noe U Kain. Mihir Patel. William Peng. Abrar Hasnat Rayan. Luke Rawlings. Shiva Satyadev. Blair Kahu Williams. Jade Harris. Thomas Karianis. Samar Hook. Neu Lewin. Tu Van Ma. Pichayed Sean McGee. Caitlin Campbell O'Flynn. Natalie Edith Reyes Aguirre. Ritik Raghav. Ricardo Roman. Simranjit Kaur. Dhruval Sunilbai Soni. Wilson. Thomas Voyevodka. Bo Xuan Xiao. Huanqin Xiang. Blake Anthony Herford. Amanda Lee Ann Lai. Ngan Jiang Tran. Angus Vitelli. Hein Kant Zhao. Eliza Gosling. Daniel Walker. Alyssa Ann Humphreys. Benton Salazar. Umar Babu. Aidan Thomas Graffinau Parker. Naomi Megan Reed. Mirella Cassis. Alyssa Hayward. Gemma Ann Wood. Celine Goulez. James Daniel Manning. William Nicholas Priestley. Jeffrin Joy. David O'Brien. Ethan Craig Skinner. Lachlan Ludwig. Brandon Shaw. Nabil Hassam M.N. Badran. Yumna Mustafa Fatih Zaki Yassin El-Shimi. Daniel Thomas Hunter. Joshua Lars William Johansson. Matthew Malcolm Roberts. Juliana Avtarovsky. Vera Levitt.
Vice Chancellor and President, sadly, Tegan Henderson passed away before she could receive her Bachelor of Mathematics with distinction. Tegan's shining light will be missed by family, friends, students, many of whom are in attendance here today. I invite her sister, Aline, to come forward to accept the posthumous award.
In the name of hope and by my authority as Vice Chancellor and President, I confirm Tegan Henderson's admission to the award for which she has qualified. On behalf of the university community, I express our sincere condolences.
We will be continuing with the presentation of awards shortly. Now I would like to introduce our musical item for today. It's my pleasure to introduce Felicity Dowd. Felicity is currently a student at UOW and a Vice Chancellor Leadership Scholar. Felicity was a grand finalist for the 2024 Toyota Star Maker. She has been recognised as the Youth Artist of the Year at the Australian Folk Music Awards 2023, New South Wales Folk Federation Young Artist of the Year in 2020, and the Gil Rees Memorial Award winner at the 2023 National Folk Festival. As we continue to celebrate UOW's 50th anniversary, please enjoy a selection of graduation photos from over the decades. And please join me in welcoming Felicity, who's going to perform Simply the Best.
Call you in the morning when my heart's on fire. You come to me wide and wide. You come to me, give me everything I need. Give a lifetime of promises and a world of dreams. Speak the language of love like you know what it means. And I can't be wrong. Take my heart and make it stronger. You're simply the best, better than all the rest, better than anyone I've ever met. And I'm stuck on your heart. I hang on every word you say. So tear us apart, baby. I would rather be dead. Your heart, I see the start of every night and every day. In your eyes, I get lost, I get washed away. But as long as I'm here in your arms, there is no better place. 'Cause you're simply the best, better than all the rest, better than anyone I've ever met. And I'm stuck on your heart, I hang on every word you say. So tear us apart, baby, I would rather be dead. 'Cause you're simply the best, better than all the rest, better than anyone I've ever met. And I'm stuck on your heart, I hang on every word you say. So tear us apart, baby, I would rather be dead. 'Cause you're simply the best, better than all the rest, better than anyone I've ever met. And I'm stuck on your heart, I hang on every word you say. So tear us apart, baby, I would rather be dead. 'Cause you're simply the best. Congratulations, everyone.
We will now continue with the presentation of awards for the Faculty of Engineering and Information Sciences.
Kingshuk Barua. Kay Kier. Michael George Poulos. Subarna Talukder. Shahid Abbas. Wail Osman Elawad Agab. Nabila Ahmad. Mahim Udid Ahmed. Anam Azimur Rehman Ansari. Akil Aila Vajjula. Sandhya Bashnet. Birendra Chaulagain. Shin Yu Chun. Ching Ming Dai. Gilbert Michael Raju Hoover. Tashrif Islam. Arun James. Shijo Joboy. Rana Armarzish Sardar Khan. Sayyeda Mohadise Kusha. Ataifa Malay Kenari. Akil Kumar Malavarapu. Ishfaq bin Mansour. Saeed Shawaiz Ali Naqvi. Priya Marin Philip. Shrutika Sachin Raut. Christy Samuel. Saraswati K. Sharma. Shivani. Armil Kumar Kiranbai Sonani. Vinay Soundaraj. Nandu Suresh. Rohini Sutari. Bhuvan Taneja. Tashmit Kaur. Ajay Thakur. Dushmanta Walakulpula. Yunchi Wang. Cooper Michael Warren. Gayanika Wijetunga. Anjali Yeginati. Alexandra Zaskalkina. Adash Bandari. Manura Dirasekara. Alvin Joseph. Christy Natalia Josman. Bikram Karki. Shahir Asghar Khan. Hamsini Ravindran Kushik. Aravind Kumar. Chering Yangchen Lama. Vaishnavi Lekha. Prabhat Mandal. Mrudula Manava. Rishab Manokaran. Simi Matthew. Sumaya Salam Munira. Huang An Nguyen. Drashti Prakash Kumar Patel. Monisha Prakash. Seema Salari Savari. Nishit Mukeshbai Sangvi. Omid Safat. Bikesh Shrestha. Modit Sobti. Nikita Thomas. Wai Chan San. Shi Ting Tu. Nishanka Chamara Jayasinghe Upate Lekamlage. Kyuta Yasuda. Akshay Kumar Donopati. Abe Kumar. Naga Somya Mokapati. Jun Kai Chan. Diana Abasi Innocent Iba. Marlene Maria Shibata. Gagandip Kaur. Anas Nadir Mohammed Dawood Aldwaik. Hamza Nadir Mohammed Dawood Aldwaik. Antapreet Kaur. Shovon Chandra Das. Fahim Faisal. Mahmudul Hassan. Mohammed Sharafat Hussain. Shubo Hu. Megnad Reddy Kariveda. Sanchit Katyal. Gurpreet Kaur. Shinnan Na. Jahanvi Makar. Manpreet Kaur. Himanshu Moore. Sanjida Israt Muna. Ria Rafael. Ronald Sabu Manakunel. Vrinda Satish. Ramkaranveer Singh. Aslan Asan Ullah. Snehit Castellino. Ken Chen. Yushuan Shan. Fu Sen Jason Xu. Arpit Anil D'Souza. Simran Duseja. Junhao Guo. Unkita Gupta. Kohei Hatakeyama. Ch Luk Darren Lam. Anant Mishra. Swati Ramala. Rafaela Schenfeld. Parsini Sianjai. Yu Chun Wei. Wasfa Abid. Malavika Manoj Kumar Panikaya. Fatima Negaban. Sagar Satish Kumar Bhatia. Amna Farooq. Chao Liu. Yue Chiu. Shi Yu Zhou.
We have a late arrival. Vice Chancellor and President, I present to you from the Faculty of Engineering and Information Sciences for the Bachelor of Computer Science, Engbayar Dugatri. It's now with great pleasure that I announce our doctoral award recipients today. Will the graduates who are to be presented with doctoral awards from the Faculty of Engineering and Information Sciences please stand?
I confirm your admission to doctorate degrees for which you have qualified.
Vice Chancellor and President, I present to you for their doctoral degrees. For their study into engaging with Facebook health support groups among the Australian culturally and linguistically diverse population in New South Wales, Dr. Muhammad Mahmoud Al-Zain. For their study of digital security, this thesis develops quantum-resistant cryptic graphic systems for future protection. Dr. Priyanka Datta. For their study into group-oriented anonymous signature, Dr. Neop Thuong Nguyen. For their study into developing efficient methods for pricing complex financial options using advanced mathematical models and techniques, Dr. Lin Ai. For their study into developing new methods to model and predict non-Gaussian spatial processes, Dr. Alan Roy Pierce. For their exploration of magnetic vortices in hybrid superconducting films for data storage and quantum devices, Dr. Cankut Eker. For their study into developing highly efficient oxygen evolution reaction electrocatalysts by electronic structure regulation on transition metal oxides, Dr. Chongyan Hao. For their study into observed changes in Australian rainfall and their links to large-scale drivers of climate variability, Dr. Matthew Alexander Jones. For their study into a dose monitoring system for a new method of radiotherapy, Dr. Marisa Lee Kiley. For their study into effects of treatment errors and setting patient-specific limits for improved high-dose rate prostate brachytherapy treatment quality, Dr. Dylan James Kopriwek. For their exploration of new radiation measurement techniques for protecting humans in medical and space environments, Dr. Matthew James Lash. For their study into the use of low-dose whole-body computed tomography to investigate bony injury in pediatric non-accidental injury. Dr. Michael Lawson. For their study of the optimization of workflows for quality assurance of brain cancer radiotherapy, Dr. Lauren Marie May. And for their exploration of combined drug and nanoparticle-enhanced radiotherapies in the treatment of brain cancer, Dr. Michael Walczewski.
It now gives me great pleasure to introduce Johnny Matrevsky to give the occasional address today. Johnny is the co-founder and Chief Technology Officer of ScalaPay, one of Europe's fastest growing fintech companies. A proud alumnus of the University of Wollongong, Johnny graduated with a Bachelor of Engineering Telecommunications in 2000, after starting his career in engineering roles at Nortel and CommScope. He went on to lead digital transformation initiatives at major Australian organisations, including Telstra, Hotels Combined, Qantas, and the Commonwealth Bank. In 2019, Johnny co-founded ScalaPay, a buy now, pay later platform designed to transform the way consumers shop by enabling interest-free instalment payments. Under his leadership, ScalaPay achieved unicorn status, expanding across Southern Europe and partnering with tens of thousands of merchants. Johnny is passionate about building high-performing engineering teams, product innovation, and delivering user-centric solutions at scale. He remains actively involved in Australia's tech ecosystem, mentoring young professionals and contributing to open source communities. He continues to give back to his alma mater through initiatives like the ScalaPay Next Generation Scholarship, which supports students in computing and engineering. Johnny's journey reflects the power of education, curiosity, and ambition, values he proudly carries into every endeavour. Please join me in welcoming Johnny.
Good afternoon, Vice-Chancellor, esteemed faculty, proud families and friends, and most importantly, graduating students. It's a real honour to stand before you today, back at the University of Wollongong, a place that shaped so much of who I am. I still remember walking these grounds as a telecommunications engineering student, full of ambition, questions, and a little too much caffeine. To return, not just as an alumni, but as someone entrusted to speak to the next generation of engineers is deeply humbling. When I sat where you are today, I never imagined the twists and turns my journey would take, and like many of you, I had a rough idea of what I wanted to do, but, like many of you, but the path ahead was anything but predictable. What I did have was the education that I received here at the UOW. It gave me the technical grounding I needed, the ability to think critically and to solve problems. But just as importantly, it gave me the confidence to keep learning long after I left. And that's been the biggest lesson of all. Graduation isn't the end of learning. If anything, it's the beginning. Every role that I've taken has pushed me to grow. Each one came with a learning curve that I didn't expect and I didn't see coming, and sharpened my career as an engineer. When we started ScalaPay, we were building a finance and lending business across the world in Europe while living in Wollongong, Australia. We weren't experts in lending, we weren't insiders in the European payment space. We just had an idea we believed in, a clear problem to solve, and the willingness to learn fast. We had to understand regulations, merchant ecosystems, risk models, customer behaviour, all in a market that we didn't grow up in. It was overwhelming at times, but it was energising all the same. Technology changes and industries evolve, but what stays constant is your ability and your willingness to keep learning. That's been the secret for me, not chasing titles or money, but following curiosity, saying yes to the uncomfortable, and that mindset has taken me further than any career plan ever could. As engineers, we are the builders, but we have to be humble enough to know that it isn't the technology that matters. It's why we are building that matters. ScalaPay didn't invent instalment payments, but we reimagined how it could work in the digital age for the European market. Frictionless, transparent, built around the user experience. And it was that clarity and obsession around making things simple for the customer that turned out to be our biggest innovation. Because true innovation isn't about complexity, it's about clarity. It's solving a problem so well that it becomes invisible in our daily life. Engineering isn't just about the systems we build, it's about the lives that we impact. The greatest engineers that I've worked with aren't just brilliant coders or architects, they're problem solvers with empathy. They see beyond the code and focus on the people that it's meant to serve. There's a classic story told amongst the startup community of the film company Kodak. For decades, Kodak was at the forefront of photography innovation. In fact, Kodak invented the first digital camera in the 1970s. But they buried the technology, afraid it would cannibalize their film business. Why? Because they believed the value was in the chemical processing of film and not what photography truly meant to people. But the real purpose of photography isn't in megapixels or film, it's capturing memories, preserving moments, and telling stories. Kodak lost sight of that, and while they focused on protecting their tech, others focused on serving the human needs. As a result, Kodak lost all of their market share, and their story now only serves as a powerful reminder that innovation without purpose can be clever, but ultimately irrelevant. Just because we can build something doesn't mean that it matters. Purpose is what transforms a product into something meaningful, something people actually care about. So as you take your skills into the world, ask yourselves not just how something works, but why it matters. Look for the real needs behind the shiny features and look for the impact behind the innovation. We love to talk about the success stories, but every success sits on a foundation of failure. And I've had my fair share. Failure can sting, but it's also where the real growth happens. Because resilience isn't about avoiding failure, it's about what you do with it. Do you take it personally, or do you take it apart? Do you retreat, or do you build something that matters? If you're never failing, you're probably not taking enough risks. Engineering is, at its core, iterative. The first version is rarely the final one. And the same goes for careers, startups, and personal growth. The key is not to fear failure, but to expect it, learn from it, and use it as fuel. So give yourself permission to make some mistakes, because every success is shaped, in part, by what you learnt when things didn't go as planned. So as you leave this hall today, you're not just stepping into the workforce, you're stepping into a world that needs your ideas, your courage, and your curiosity. The challenges out there are real, but so is your capacity to meet them. Let me leave you with a few guiding principles that have shaped my own journey. Stay curious. The most powerful tool you'll ever carry isn't in your toolbox, it's in your mindset. Curiosity is what keeps you learning, growing, and moving forward. Solve real problems. Build things that matter. Don't just chase what's shiny. If it makes someone's life better, simpler, or more human, then you're on the right track. Don't let failure define you. Let it refine you. Every misstep is a step forward, And if you let it, it will teach you something. And above all, use what you've learned to make things better for people, for your community, and for the world around you. Because that's what engineering is at its best. Not just clever systems or elegant code, but impact, purpose, and progress. Congratulations, class of 2025, you are the future. Now go out there and build something extraordinary. Thank you.
Thank you, Johnny, for your inspiring reflections. I would now like to call upon Juliana Avtarovsky to give the vote of thanks. Juliana is graduating with a Bachelor of Science Advanced Honours, majoring in physics. Throughout her time at the University of Wollongong, she has contributed to a wide range of research projects across the field of physics. She began her research journey by combining her passion for art with terahertz spectroscopy, a project that earns her the EIS Terahertz Award in 2023. Her work has also been taken into the field, conducting methane emission studies using FTIR spectroscopy in the Hunter Valley. Juliana is now conducting her academic journey through a PhD focused on neutron spectroscopy. Beyond the lab, she has been an enthusiastic science communicator, actively involved with the Physics Society and the UOW Science Space. She's helped bring the excitement of science to the wider community through stargazing events and outreach activities. Please welcome Juliana.
Vice-Chancellor, members of the University, distinguished guests, fellow graduates, friends and family. It is an honour to stand here on behalf of my fellow graduates for the vote of thanks. A famous quote often heard in research is that you are standing on the shoulders of giants. Throughout our degrees, we focused on the big names of famous physicists, scientists and mathematicians from an era ago. But standing here now, I have a deeper appreciation for the giants here that we have learnt from and the giants we have become. While studying, I've had the privilege of working as a science communicator. Bit windy in here, isn't it? One of the most heartwarming things to hear a small child say with absolute conviction is, "I want to be a scientist when I grow up." But it is always surreal to hear that small child say, "I want to be a scientist like you." Now, that could just be the nature of cool science shows that most kids love, but in their eyes, and even in the eyes of a lot of adults, we are those cool scientists that write the code to hack into dinosaur bones and shoot lasers to the sky to find new planets and understand Greek letters that don't form Greek words. Don't even get me started on ones and zeros. Of course, it's never always as fun or as easy as in a child's imagination. But sometimes things do go right, results are made, conclusions are drawn, and one more step is made to something new, something better, something exciting. It's a restless world out there, and it certainly hasn't made it a walk in the park for our studies. But know that you have made it. And with you, that wall of giants has gotten a little taller. On behalf of all graduates, I would like to extend my most sincere gratitude to the University of Wollongong, to the teachers, academics and staff who have inspired and taught. You are the giants we have directly stood upon to reach new heights. We now carry a little part of you with us, a little wisdom, a little mnemonic, a little story to tell. Thank you for lifting us up. I would also like to extend a very special thank you to those that have supported us through our journey. Most of this room is filled by parents, partners, friends, and family. Some of us have children, peers, and mentors looking on. You've had the sometimes difficult but very rewarding task of holding us steady. Please share our pride today. Our success is yours too. Graduates, if you are able to, please stand and show our appreciation to our family and supporters. I think it might be pinging. To our guest speaker, Johnny Matrevsky, thank you for your words of wisdom. Your journey through telecommunications through to co-founding Scalapay is nothing short of incredible. Your message will undoubtedly prepare us for what is to follow in our lives beyond the university. Thank you. And finally, congratulations to all graduating here today. Look to the future with excitement and cherish what has brought you here. I wish you all the best in your journey ahead.
Thank you, Juliana. Graduates, families, friends and colleagues, we're coming close to the end of the ceremony today. We'll now share our graduation video, which hopefully encourages you all to reflect on the infinite moments that have led you to where you're sitting today.
Everything we've done has led towards today. But graduation seems singular. After all, it's one day, one degree, one end and one beginning. Think about it this way though. If we divide today by 4 years,
Or 5 years.
Or 3 years.
Or 8 years.
the equation becomes clearer. Because today isn't just an event or a graduation or a moment of change. It's what we've created through 24 subjects.
11 all-nighters.
357 books read.
54 5,000-word essays.
40 monologues critiqued.
154 films watched.
And 4 films made.
Let's be real though. Our experience is way bigger than just the classroom. You've got to factor in
665 hypotheses.
6 heated dramas.
2 semesters abroad. 5 new cultures experienced.
12 concerts attended.
843 waves ridden.
169 hours lounging around.
17 dance parties.
2 major heartbreaks.
And more lifelong friendships than we can count.
When we take those experiences, the long days, late nights and early mornings into the equation, we realise that graduation at the University of Wollongong isn't just some singular thing.
That it's a transition from finding our purpose
to changing our world with the purpose we found.
That our passport to the future has been stamped.
With the mark of a globally respected education.
And most importantly, we realise the moments that led up to this are
a tapestry,
a symphony,
an equation,
a 65,000-year-old history.
We realise that though today is a single moment, graduation is much bigger than any one day. Because, like an algorithm made up of bits of code,
Or a building built from many bricks.
Or a community built from many different people, today is the result of our
experiments,
experiences,
tests,
trials,
and victories.
So that's what we celebrate today. Not the cap, not the gown, but the infinite number of moments we shared at the University of Wollongong.
Isn't that wonderful? It's a great pleasure for me to share this special celebration of the academic achievements of our students. Before we close, can I ask our graduates to remain seated while the rest of the audience stands, if you are able to? And please join me in congratulating all our graduates in class 2025. You may now be seated. We feel incredibly proud to celebrate our graduates today. I'd like to warmly thank the students and staff who volunteered their time today to assist with this celebration. And please join us outside for some light refreshment. Our mace bearer will lead the academic procession, followed by the graduates, then the VIP guests. So guests, please be patient and remain in your seat until our ushers give you instruction on exiting the venue. So once again, congratulations, graduates. So we now declare the ceremony concluded. Congratulations.